saucer incident is probably the largest mass witness daylight sighting of a flying saucer, certainly in Australia and probably in the world, on the 6th of April in 1966 in a place called Westall in the southeastern suburbs of Melbourne, Australia's second largest city. At around 10:15 in the morning, some students who were out on the playing field at Westall High School noticed, just out of the blue, this flying saucer type object appeared above them in the sky. And within several minutes, a huge number of the students at both Westall High School and the neighbouring primary school next door, Westall State School, witnessed this flying saucer-shaped object. Some people say there was one. Quite a few witnesses remember seeing more than one, two or three, flying low in the sky above the two Westall schools. And then the students watched as the flying saucer flew several hundred metres to the south of the school and disappeared behind a grove of pine trees. Because so many of the students saw the flying saucer going into the direction of this place called
look at the cloud behind this guy, man.
The students knew the Grange so well because it was an area very close to their school. They knew they did what they knew
that is
very much
insane.
against the school rules. Jumped the school boundary fence, raced over the road, and chased after the flying saucer. A small number of students were lucky enough to arrive in time to see the flying saucer still on the ground, or at least very close to the ground, and they watched it as it lifted up, tilted onto its side, and then flew off at an incredible speed.
Are any of those students alive today?
Nearly all of those students are still with us, still alive today. I've been in touch with almost 100 witnesses who remember seeing the flying saucer themselves, about 150 students who remember seeing the circles left behind in the grassy paddock where the flying saucer came down, and something like 60 students who were lucky enough to have seen both of those things.
They even landed.
In the history of this event,
Look at that cloud, man.
there was one individual quite prolific, which would be Andrew, the science teacher. Can you tell us a bit about his involvement and how it may have affected his life?
Sure. Well, Mr. Andrew Greenwood was one of the two science teachers at the school at the time. There was a male teacher and a female teacher. Andrew Greenwood was teaching science to a class at the time when the flying saucer appeared, and a student rushed into his class from outside, a girl who had been doing physical education at the time, yelling out, "There's a flying saucer outside, a flying saucer outside." After a few minutes, Andrew gathered his class together and went out to investigate himself. And sure enough, getting out onto the playing field, he saw the flying saucer for himself, as did the students who were in his science class. Andrew was very much affected by what he had seen. He could clearly see what it was that the students saw as well. And about a week or two later, there was a knock at his door, at his home. And he opened the door to
did you see that thing that came down?
Royal Australian Air Force officers on his doorstep. He thought, okay, they're coming around to talk to me about what I'd seen, to take down more details about what I had seen. But in fact, they come around to do the very opposite. They came around to say, Andrew, there are no such things as flying saucers, and we don't want you talking again about what you say you saw. In fact, if you talk again to the media, at that point in time he had spoken to the local newspaper and his account and his photograph had appeared in the newspaper. If you talk again about what you have seen, we will make sure that you don't teach again in this state. They were coming around to threaten him, to put the hard word on him. Now obviously he was very shaken by this, and he remembers thinking at the time, if there are no such things as flying saucers, why are you two Air Force officers so keen for me to not say that I've seen them? Why are you two people so keen for me not to talk about what I have seen?
The arm in the lower right corner of the picture, which was a position that Anna had put it in to assist in our station keeping task.
Check it out, the Concorde one. Look, look. Whoa.
The German Space Agency. The German Space Agency.
If there were a danger out there in the stars, another intelligence that was willing to enter our atmosphere without permission, willing to alter our way of life by simply revealing themselves, what could be the reason? Why now? Could it be to eventually take advantage or exploit mankind as a resource? That certainly would be a worthy cause for NASA to keep secrets. Or is there something even more unbelievable at hand? Perhaps a group of elite humans have closed the world off from this interaction. Or maybe these off-worlders themselves are the ones trying to keep the secrets.
NASA has partnered with Robert Bigelow, who's an unconventional figure in the aerospace world. He's more at home on the Vegas Strip than at America's space agency, and he's obsessed with aliens and UFOs. In the spring of last year, he and NASA carried out an historic test to prove his high-flying technology is ready to support humans in space.
Witnessing those explosions in the 50s and 60s, you weren't aware of the ultimate ramifications of those kinds of things, but there was a real strong feeling of energy and a secretiveness and so forth, and it was cool.
He told us this is where his grandparents had a close encounter with a UFO, and explains the alien looking out from the side of Bigelow Aerospace.
Do you believe in aliens?
I'm absolutely convinced. That's all there is to it.
Do you also believe that UFOs have come to Earth?
There has been and is an existing presence, an ET presence. And I spent millions and millions. I probably spent more as an individual than anybody else in the United States has ever spent on this subject.
Is it risky for you to say, you know, in public that you believe in UFOs and aliens?
I don't care.
You don't worry that some people will say that you hear that guy, he sounds like he's crazy?
I don't care.
Why not?
It's not going to make a difference. It's not going to change reality of what I know.
Do you imagine that in our space travels we will encounter other forms of intelligent life?
You don't have to go anywhere.
You can find it here.
Yeah.
Back. Bullshit, looking for a signal, what a recommending shit. It didn't go far enough.